So to be completely honest, I think the iPhone XS Max is a very weird iPhone in 2024, and I don't know how to feel about it. Even honestly, since the day it came out, I was honestly a very, very strange fan of this phone. I love that Apple was bringing back this bigger sized phone, and I thought that was a really cool thing going on for this particular device. But the weird thing is, so many years later, this device has grown on me, and I definitely do think it's still worth buying for the most part, but I don't really think it's a good phone to buy anymore, although it is a phone I'd recommend purchasing because it is the oldest, Max phone on iOS 17. It's just a really weird phone in my opinion. The big thing though is with its build quality. I think this iPhone is a very well-built phone. And I think its, body is actually very, very good. You're getting a massive 6.5-inch display on this thing. And that's a pretty big advantage when you're buying a phone like this because it's a very big display. It's a very good build quality. And that's a massive advantage for this type of device. You're getting these curved sides to it and even the glass on the back of the dual camera setup. It's very nice to have a big phone like this with this type of build quality, and it feels so expensive. Even when I still pick up my XS Max, it still feels like $1,000 phone even though it came out in 2018 and you can probably buy this thing for like $300 right now. The funny thing though, and the weirder stuff is when it comes to the internals. I think the battery size of this phone was the weirdest thing Apple's ever done. The fact that this phone was that large but had that small of a size battery, and the fact that so many people complained about the battery of this phone at that time was very weird to me. It's even funnier because the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which came out right after this phone, had such a bigger size battery and at that time had the biggest size battery I think on any iPhone. That was another very shocking thing that Apple kind of threw in here. Now, again, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but that was one thing that I did see at that time. And I actually was thinking to myself at that moment, like that was a very, very crazy thing going on that this phone had that small of a size battery. I also think that the cameras coming from the iPhone 10 really wasn't even that big of a difference either, but that's kind of a comparison syndrome. The biggest thing, which completely falls in the comparison syndrome for me and shows how much of a hypocrite I am, was the fact that this iPhone was, kind of in the middle of two different really good devices. So the iPhone 10, which was smaller, but that was a really big impact and a very impactful iPhone. And then the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which was a massive, upgrade coming from the iPhone XS Max to say the least. So this iPhone was not really even like the middle child. It was like a forgotten, thing in the first place. It was like, why would you buy an iPhone XS Max when you can just go buy an iPhone 11 Pro Max or save some money and get an iPhone 10? Although it's a bigger phone, if you want the bigger one, just go for the 11 Pro Max. That makes a lot more sense probably for the average person to buy. So I definitely do think even now in 2024, this iPhone is still very interesting to say the least. It's a great iPhone and I like it a lot, but it is just one of those iPhones that I probably wouldn't recommend buying unless you really want to buy an old iPhone. I'd recommend buying an 11 Pro Max at that point. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.